light of love is shining in my eyes. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Yes, I am. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I know the light of love is shining in my eyes. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. A little birdie told me that life is so sweet. As I listen to her song, I know I am complete. I have all the keys to love, joy, and peace. The power is infinite. Love will increase. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I know the light of love is shining in my eyes. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. A little birdie told me life is so sweet. As I listen to her song, I know I am complete. I have all the keys to love, joy, and peace. The power is infinite. Love will increase. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm happy, so healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I know the light of love is shining in my eyes. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Every day I'm happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Can't you see I'm happy now? So healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm happy, healthy, wealthy.
Hello.
Healthy, I'm
I
wise.
want to make sure it was on.
I am happy and healthy and wealthy and wise.
Good morning, beautiful people here in the audience and out in YouTube land. So glad to see all of you here with us today. Welcome. So the first thing we want to do is welcome our wonderful musician, Alicia Merlady Bonnet, and after her first selection, we'll see our poulet on video. Help me welcome Alicia, please.
Well, Mahalo. It's nice to see everybody this bright morning after the wonderful rain we had. And I know we're not supposed to be doing sing-alongs, but I love them. And I know you do too. And this actually especially goes out to Joan, because she saw me at the vegetable stand and came up to me and said, you know what I really like about you coming is you get me singing on Sunday morning. So this is especially for Joan. So you can sing very quietly or hum into your mask, and of course you out there in YouTube land, you can sing as loud as you want, and maybe loud enough that we will be able to hear you here. So I will sing a line, and then you get to sing it back to me, quietly. I'm not alone, I am connected to the web of life. I'm not alone, I am connected to the web of life. I am not alone, I am connected to the web of life. Go! I am not alone, I am connected to the web of life. The web of life, the web life. The web of life, the web of life. Everything's connected to the web of life. The web of life, the web of life. Everything's connected to the web of life. 'Cause we are not alone, we are connected, connected to the web of life. We are not alone, we are connected, connected to the web of life. We are not alone, we are connected, connected to the web of life. We are not alone, we are connected, connected to the web of life. The web of life, the web of life, the web of life, the web of life. Everything's connected to the web of life. Everything's connected to the web of life. The web of life, the web of life, the web of life, the web of life. Everything's connected to 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 the web of life. Oh yeah.
Thank you, Alicia, for that important reminder that we are all connected to the web of life. Okay, please join me in our opening prayer treatment this morning. And we've already been reminded that we are all connected to the web of life, and that web of life, of course, includes spirit. So we know that we are always connected to spirit. There is never any separation. Sometimes it might feel that way, but we just need to remember. We need to remember who and what we are, and that is, we are divine emissaries of spirit expressing on this plane. And we are also divine co-creators with spirit. So I'm knowing today that all of us are calling forth the peace that is in our hearts, and we are spreading it out to our nation and to our world, knowing that God is fully present and fully in charge and taking care of all of our needs. So today the word is peace. Peace in our hearts, peace in our sanctuary, peace in your homes, peace in our communities, peace in our nation, and peace in our world. So I'm knowing that's expressing beautifully through this Sunday service this morning. So I declare a wonderful, uplifting, enlightening, fun, remembering Sunday service that each of us walks away with something that we needed to see or hear that helps us to stay connected to that beautiful web of life and to the spirit that expresses within us. So right now I'm just releasing my word to the one mind we call God, knowing that it has already said yes, it is already manifesting, it is already expressing beautifully through and as each of us here. And gratefully we let this go and we close the prayer by saying, and so it is. All right. So welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, East Hawaii, where our vision is awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and our personal mission statement is to provide an environment of aloha, inspiring a spiritual approach to living. Wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome here. So now it's time for our creative thought, and right now I want to welcome Reverend Cathy, who's going to do our creative thought. Yay, Reverend Cathy! So, I wake up early. I don't always get up early, but I always wake up early. And this morning, it was extra early, 4:45 p.m. or a.m. I'm sorry, I'm knowing Spirit was nudging me. Once my eyes are open, I begin my morning with first expressing all of my gratitudes, and then I move into my spiritual practice of prayer and reflection. And in so doing, I read from several spiritual books, and I also receive several daily messages from other ministers and spiritual mentors via email and text. So I began today by checking my daily text that comes from the Reverend Timothy Rich. But in so doing, I also found a text from our office administrator, Bonnie Masterjohn. It was written at 12:18 a.m., and it read in part, "I twisted my ankle going down the stairs with laundry. I can't walk. Can you do the creative thought for me?" Well, I will admit that the first word out of my mouth was an expletive, as in, oh, shoot. Yeah, that's what I said, oh, shoot. And then I went directly to gratitude. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful that I received that text and didn't show up here knowing that I needed to do a creative thought. The first thing I want to do is stand in the light for Bonnie. So please know with me that she's surrounded and supported by Spirit while she rests comfortably at home, and her complete healing of her ankle is unfolding perfectly. I know you'll know that with me. I don't know about the rest of you, but the last 5 days have been emotionally exhausting. Since Tuesday, I have experienced the full gamut of emotions, culminating yesterday in extreme joy, coupled with deep relief. Today's daily guide in the Science of Mind magazine featured 2 quotes. The first one was from one of my favorite spiritual mentors, Maya Angelou, who said, "The desire to reach for the stars is ambitious. The desire to reach hearts is wise." The second quote was from our own Dr. Holmes, who said, "Illumination will come as a man more and more realizes his unity with the whole, and as he or she constantly endeavors to let the truth operate through him or her." Sorry, his gender-specific language is a bit dated, but his message is always right on. So the author of the creative thought then talked about visiting a village in the center of a Hopi reservation and summarized the Hopi prophecy, which was, humans are seduced by greed. This is the prophecy. Humans are seduced by greed, worship technology, fought and hurt each other, and forgot ethical teachings they have been given to honor the earth and one another. Their prophecy highlights an opportunity for humanity to embrace a great purification, after which the Great Spirit will return, and so too will an abundance of the earth. The author and his companions chatted with Hopi elders about this revealing prophecy that speaks to a massive awakening of consciousness, and they asked one of the elders, "How can this be done?" And the elder replied, "What we as humans must do is to take the longest journey of our life. It is not traveling around the globe, sitting on top of great mountains, or seeking some remote land. It is the journey from our head to our heart. This is the longest journey a human can take, and it is the journey that can bring about peace. Last night, I heard 2 political speeches that spoke to all of us taking the journey from head to heart, the journey that will lead us to the return of our democracy and the reunification of our nation. Granted, it is a slow, often plodding journey, one that is plagued by setbacks and by switchbacks along the trail. It is exhausting, and it's frustrating and even terrifying at times, but it is a journey of infinite possibility, and one that I want to continue to be on, one slow and deliberate step at a time. I've learned a lot about myself this past 4 years. And sadly, one of the things I have learned is how much rage I am capable of feeling toward another human being. This is not the person I want to be. In this journey from head to heart, my rage must be dissipated, neutralized, released, and replaced by the pure love that is spirit. I know I'll stumble and I'll falter along the trail, and it will feel like sometimes I'm taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. But I also know that I must forge on, because until I heal myself, I cannot expect or anticipate the healing of our nation or our planet. I was very energized by the rhetoric I heard last night and by the joy I saw expressed by millions taking it to the streets, as the Doobie Brothers would say. I felt my heart breaking open as I witnessed this phenomenon. And so I am encouraged to forge on, and I continue to pray for peace and for unity and love for one another to blossom and grow in my heart, first of all, and in all hearts. At the end of President-elect Biden's speech, oh, I get chicken skin saying that, President-elect Biden's speech, he told the story of his grandpa telling him, "Joey, keep the faith." And then his grandmother chimed in and said, "No, Joey, spread the faith." I'm praying that all of us will agree to spread the faith through our daily spiritual practice, through our forgiveness of ourselves and others, through the healing and affirmative words that we choose to say, and through the positive and contributory actions that we choose to take as we take each step on our journey from head to heart. And so it is. Thank you. So I was going to sit down, but I realized I'm still presiding, so there is no rest for the wicked. So let's welcome back Alicia Merlady Bonnet for another wonderful selection.
Well, I totally echo that we have to love ourselves and then love as much as possible so that we don't end up with us and them. Really important. This song that I want to share with you was co-written by a 9-year-old in La Paz, Mexico with me. And it goes through, see if you can see the 4 different bodies that we have within the song, the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. Here we go. Thank you, Zachy. I love my noses, I love my toeses, I love all that's in between, because I love myself. I love my happy, I even love my crappy. I love all that's in between, because I love myself. I love myself, I accept myself, I honor myself, I bless myself. I love my clarity, even love my confusion. I love all that's in between, because I love myself. I love when all is one, even when it looks like two. I love all that's in between, because I love myself. I love myself. I accept myself. I honor myself. I bless myself. Okay, you can scat through those mouths. It's gently. Oh yeah. Well, I love your noses. I even love your toeses. I love all that's in between, because I love all of you. Oh yeah. I love your happy. I even love your crappy. I love all that's in between, because I love all of you. I love all of you. I accept all of you. I honor all of you. I bless all of you. Yes, I love your clarity. Even love your confusion. I love all that's in between, because I love all of you. I love when all is one, even when it looks like two. I love all that's in between, because I love all of you. I love all of you. I accept you. I honor all of you. I bless all of you.
Thank you, Alicia. We love you too. I'm so happy you love all my crappies, because if you love them, then I can love them too. Appreciate that. And now it's time for our message, and I am so appreciative of our speaker. I'm always appreciative of him. He's also a board member, and he and Christy have been such consistent supporters of our center. But you know, he had a rough week. He had toothache and tooth pulling and pain and reaction to medication, and he's still here. Ready, willing, and we know he's able because we've heard him speak before. Ready, willing, and able to give us a good message. Please welcome Dennis Soares.
Must have added an extension there. Yay! Good morning, everybody. Yes, it's been a hell of a week, and I am extraordinarily thankful that I have people like Cathy to call on and just say, you know, do a spiritual mind treatment with me, because I'm losing it. But in any event, I am here. I think I'm cognizant and awake. We'll find out. The talk for this month or this week is, what is God giving you? And before I actually get into that, I want to talk about what defines greatness in human beings. You know, we lost two wonderful human beings this past week. Most of you know this. The first one is Sean Connery, who entertained millions and millions of people with dignity and grace for a long, long time. He died at 90. And this morning we lost Alec Trebek, another wonderful human being that just was in everybody's family room, you know, week after week after week with the game show that he hosted. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what defines these people as great? And I want to go to a living person to what I think defines someone as great. There is this video that I've seen a number of times now, Barack Obama when he was president, and he's in the Oval Office with a bunch of people, and there's a little kid there, maybe 5 years old, black kid, and he goes, "Hey, we have the same kind of hair." And so Barack reaches down and touches his hair, and then he bends down and lets the boy touch his hair. And I'm thinking, you know, greatness is not in the big things. It's in the small things, the everyday things. And some of us may never get to be famous on that level, but it doesn't mean we're not great human beings or that we lived a fulfilling and great life. So a new president has been elected. There's a new perspective, hopefully, on this country and where it should be going. Lincoln said, and Lincoln is so ironic to me as the founder of the Republican Party, it's so ironic to me that he would be that person, but he said a house divided cannot stand. And that's true of us. So we're going to have to find a way to work across the aisle with people that vehemently, in some cases, don't agree with us. And there couldn't be anybody better than Joe Biden to do that. He knows most of these people. So, according to Science of Mind, God has already given us everything that we need. It is our job to awaken to it. Life is fully supporting of us at all times. Do you believe that? Because I do, or I wouldn't be here this morning. So, Spirit has provided for us everything that we need. Prayer is like a seed. Contained within the prayer is the answer already, just like an oak tree is contained with an acorn, or a little small mustard seed creates a giant plant. If you have an idea, the manifestation of that idea is already contained in the universe. Any idea, doesn't matter what it is. You know, one of the things that was so astounding about this election period, if you go back and look at it historically, was how many groups of people all over this country and the world, like Indivisible, were pushing the agenda of let's be one. It didn't happen by accident. You know, people like Stacey Abrams in Georgia, they made this thing happen. They weren't sitting back hoping to manifest this, they were out there manifesting it. So what is more spiritual? Let me ask you, a rose or a $100 bill? Okay, some of you said the same. The answer is they are the same. They both are equally spiritual. Not one is more spiritual than the other. They are equally spiritual. God gives us both freely. If you are resisting or believing one is less than the other, then that's what you get. If you believe a rose is better than a $100 bill, I don't know if I'd go that way, but if you believe it, then it's true for you. But also, if you believe a $100 bill is more valuable than a rose, then you would probably pick that. But the truth of the matter is they're equally valuable. So working with and in the absolute is the definition of awakening. Awaken to your truth and transcend your limiting beliefs. I know my problem this past 4 years is I really got stuck into there's an other out there, and that other is the enemy, and I don't like the other. And the more I got jammed into that, the more ill I felt. So build your faith muscle. You can do this in 2 ways. In the most basic way, you can keep praying, affirming, visualizing until you master and receive the manifestation. In the more advanced way, you can view your manifestation not as a process of getting things. This is very important. View your manifestation not as a process of getting things, but as shining and expressing our truth which is already here and now. When we do spiritual mind treatment, when I called Cathy, I wasn't talking about please heal me next week. We were affirming that whatever the healing was that was needed was going to happen right here, right now. So I have a brief meditation. If you get comfortable or still or whatever you want, eyes open, eyes closed, it doesn't really matter. This is a meditation by a fellow named David Spangler. He said, imagine yourself inside a dark house dressed in a swimsuit. You are cold. You wish for warmth. You wish for light. You step outside the door of the house into the sunlight, onto nature. You go out into the lounge chair and lie down and sunbathe. You feel warmth and light penetrate your being. You feel so good, in fact, you no longer are cold. You see a tree near you, and you see how it takes in the rays of the sun in the same way that you do. Now look at the sun and feel your being begin to expand and rise out of your scene towards the sun. You meld into the sun. You are the sun. You are radiating out your light upon the trees and plants or nature and shining your light onto the solar panels that people convert into energy. People sitting and absorbing your rays. Feel what it is like to give out from an inexhaustible supply. The supply of spirit has no limitation. Just as the solar panels on my roof, they have no limitation either. As long as the sun comes out, I'm converting energy and it's reducing my electric bill. So feel the connection between the two. And now bring your attention to this time and space. So the basic level is like wanting the warmth. All of us want that. Taking the action to step into the light and accepting the rays of the sun. That is the most basic level for all human beings. The advanced level is we think we are the sun. Not just think. We know inside we are the sun, that we can radiate that heat anytime we want to. Nothing is against you. Not a government, not a group of people, not a set of thoughts. Nothing is against you. The universe is always fully supporting you. Now, this may be very hard to get when things are not going well, but it happens to be a fact. So how would your life be different is if you lived as if no one or no thing was against you? Just think about that for 10 seconds. How would your life be different if you lived as if no one or no thing was actually against you? You know, if you've ever studied Abraham Hicks, one of my favorite authors, and one of the things she says is that human beings are very funny. Here's the stream, and here's the gold, the good stuff that we want, and what we do is we turn our boats the other way and paddle upstream. We don't allow our boat to just flow right directly to our good. So if you're caught in that trap of not allowing yourself to flow directly to your good, let go of the oars, turn the boat around, let the boat do its thing. It's going to go that way anyway. So I know that during this past 4 years, it has been difficult to come to the conclusion that there isn't an enemy out there. At least that's been so for me. Actually, the more you watch the news, the more you can become convinced that there is an enemy out there. I finally had to shut it all off. Just shut it off. Someone or something that is actually against us. And it may actually feel that way. While this is not real, we may come to believe that it is, putting us what? Out of balance. We're no longer in balance. We're not centered. I don't know what your goal is each day, but being a bipolar person, and I'll admit that openly, my goal every day is to be balanced. I don't want to be too freaking high, and I don't want to be too freaking low. because neither of those work for me. So if something good happens with me musically, or my wife and I musically, and it's really exciting, I refuse to let myself get way bent out of shape that was something so great that I now need to tell everybody about it. So while challenges may put us out of balance temporarily, they should also be kind of like a lightning rod for us to say, okay, I want to restore myself to balance. And how do I do that? By returning to the truth that is spirit. We are one. We are always connected. Even when we don't feel connected, we are one. You know, God never left us. Spirit never left us. If anything, we temporarily had a blind spot to where Spirit or God was. So, call to action. Working in the absolute is an awakening. What you are awakening, what are you awakening to? Well, if you suffer lack of awareness, that's what you need to awaken to. I mean, if you're walking around with a lack of awareness, you need to awaken to that fact and do what you need to do for you to become aware. The other thing is that most of us walk around with a feeling of limitation. I can do this, but I can't do that. I can do this, but I can't do that. That also is not true, unless you believe it's true. So how can I welcome all this good in? Can I be the place where God does that for me? In other words, my connection to Spirit makes me aware all the time that there is that connection and there is no lack of awareness. Be the place where God shows up. Know that you are now fully supported by the universe. Actually, you always are. Today, be a conduit of God. You are the light after all. Shine on. That is who we are, the light. We're not the darkness, unless you choose to be from there. So there's some really wonderful supporting quotes that were online as part of this month. This is probably the best outline I've ever seen for a Center for Spiritual Living talk was this month. Here's some supporting quotes. The most direct approach to prosperity is through the absolute. It is true of God. If it is true of God, guess what? It must be true of you. How can that be? Well, because you and I are a manifestation of God. So, God is all that is. It is both desire and fulfillment, prayer and its answer, the idea of its manifestation. Putting prosperity ideas to work works. Can you choose the other? Sure. My car is broken. I don't have a place to live. I don't have enough food. I don't have enough rent. You can choose whatever you want. But I'm saying that if prosperity is real, and it is, then you can choose prosperity anytime you wish. We are not training you in manifestation. We are training you to recognize manifestation. What good is manifestation if you don't recognize it? If you manifest something and you don't even recognize the fact that you manifested it, what good is that? This is quite a difference. We are not training you to be able to produce things. We are training you to recognize the eternal process of production that is all about you so that you can do it for yourself. Closer, this was a very nice little short quote by Tennyson. Closer is he than breathing and nearer than hands or feet. Like that. Sometimes less words are better. We cannot possess money until we receive the substance of our own form or identity, that it's the same substance as wealth. I'll read that again. We cannot possess money until we perceive that the substance, our own form of identity, is the same substance of wealth or abundance. You separate yourself from it by accepting such beliefs like I can't, I shouldn't, I don't deserve. Maybe someday I can be happy like that. It's for those other people. People must be taught, God, this is a hard one. People must be taught to become rich by creation, not by competition. Good Lord, that is the problem on in this planet, isn't it? It's not about competition. It's about everybody winning and coming from creation. So from Matthew, verse 22, 2 through 14, the kingdom of heaven may be compared to a king who gave a wedding feast for his son and sent forth his servants to call all who were invited to the wedding feast. Yet they would not come. Again, he sent the servants, saying, tell those that are invited to please come. See, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen, my fat calves have been slaughtered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding feast, please. But they paid no attention to him and went off the farm to do other business. I don't know why the food sounds good. I mean, I would have been there. So, humanity and divinity will become identical when we recognize the divinity in humanity. Let me say that one again, because it's kind of a tongue twister. Humanity and divinity will become identical when we recognize divinity in humanity. Do you see divinity in all the human beings on the planet? I know that has been an extraordinary challenge for so many of us. We must learn to see through the apparent, to not judge according to appearances, to realize that at the center of every person's soul, God is enthroned. Compassion and caring are the ties that bind us together in mutual healing. Compassion is the most gentle of all human virtues, for it is the outpouring of the divineness through all. And now you have an explanation of why Joe Biden got elected. It's quite simple. For a person who understands compassion, they can show it. For a person that does not, very hard to show it. When the members of a community like this one love one another, that community is solid, prosperous, and happy. Suppose we make a daily habit that we like people and they like us. Sounds a little radical, right? We belong to them and they belong to us. Wow, that also sounds pretty radical. In a very real sense, everyone has met in part their own family. By the way, this comes from Ernest Holmes. To love and enjoy, and this is an excerpt from Ernest Holmes' writings in the Science of Mind publications. So I'm going to conclude with this one sentence. One sentence affirmation. I am so grateful that I am fully supported by God. You have no idea how grateful I am that I am fully supported by God. If any of you have ever known people that have been bipolar, you can go into a mental state of equilibrium loss for weeks or longer. And yet I'm standing in front of you 4 days removed from that. So I am very, very grateful that I'm supported by God. God is always there. God is, all I have to do is reach out, call Cathy, call another God that I know and get some kind of feedback. So I encourage you all to take that affirmation into your week, use it, and also get into the habit that we like other people and they like us. I know it's very easy to say in your mind, you know what, I don't think that person really likes me. Have you ever done that? Come on. I don't think that person really likes me. But you know what, if you say the other affirmation, then you open up a window of opportunity. So I'm going to leave you with that. Peace.
You make me feel so short. Remember that song, You Make Me Feel So Young? No, Dennis makes me feel so short. Thank you for such a wonderful message. Thank you so much, Dennis. So now it is time for conscious giving. And as always, especially during these times, I want to thank everybody for the way they have so generously supported us during this pandemic and during these shifts and changes that we have all gone through. We've been able to stay stable, to pay our bills on time, and to keep serving all of you. So thank you. And I think all of you know this already, but again, there's many ways to donate. On the YouTube that you're watching, there's a donate button. You can go to our webpage, hawaiicsl.org, where there's another donate button, and you can donate either by PayPal or by credit card, or you can send us a check, and the address is on our website or on the back of your directories. If you're here in person, there's 2 baskets, one in the back of the room and one on our check-in table. So again, thank you, and please join me, if you will, in our prosperity affirmation. Divine love, in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is. Now let's just bless the offering that's coming in and know that it goes to all the right places, takes care of all the right things in perfect divine order, and so it is. And now we can welcome back Alicia for her final selection. Alicia, Merlady, Bonnet.
Thank you. And if you like this music, you can find me as Alicia Bonnet or Alicia Merlady Bonnet on Spotify or Amazon or CD Baby. And take some of this home with you and sing along to it. I'd also like to take a second to acknowledge and thank those that are behind the scenes here that have it so that you can hear us and see us at home, to Joe and Adam and Susie. So if we can just give them a round of applause. And thank you, Dennis, for reminding me of balance. And that's what this is about, is we have to, as we give, we need to receive. It's a balance. It goes as a, what is that, infinity symbol between us. So as I'm singing this, imagine yourself giving and receiving to yourself, giving and receiving to CSL, giving and receiving to those that are not here, and to our country and the world. To you I receive, to you I give, together we share, in this we live. To you I receive, to you I give, together we share, in this we live. To you I receive, to you I give, together we share, in this we live. From you I receive, to you I Together we share, in this we live. To you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, in this we live.
So much. Oops, there it is. Thank you so much, Alicia. 3 beautiful selections, a wonderful thought, and of course, a magnificent creative thought. What more could we ask for today? I have 2 standing in the lights, well, actually 3, because I'm going to remind you to hold Bonnie in the light and know that all of her pain is dissipating and just going back to the nothingness from which it came, and that she's resting comfortably and healing beautifully. And the second one is from Patty Leah. And Patty Leah Eddy says, I stand in the light for release of judgment of others and myself, creating understanding and manifesting discernment and awareness. And so it is. We'll know that with you, Patty. And this is for Ray Ryan's sister Diana. We're standing in the light. Ray's sister Diana was just diagnosed with peritoneal cancer. He says it's not curable, but it's manageable. So he's knowing, and we're knowing along with you, that Diana will respond well to chemo and be able to have comfort during this time. We're knowing that with you, and so it is. Okay. So after services today, as always, our Zoom room will be open, the virtual sanctuary, if people want to chat and visit with each other. And after I say the prayer, we'll end with our closing circle, and we'll see you all again next week. So everybody stay well, stay safe, and stay in balance. So let's know that. Let's know that we are all in the perfect balance of love and more love, in the perfect balance of rest and activity, in the perfect balance of work and play, just in perfect balance. We just know that that is what we are expressing, and that is what is infusing our bodies. And we remember that when we feel out of balance, we call upon Spirit. We call upon that magnificent co-creator that can restore us instantaneously. So I'm knowing that for all of us. I'm knowing that we remember our connection, our divine connection to the one that is always present and always loves us no matter what. So we retain that love, we hold it as precious for ourselves, and we distribute it and share it to others, because we are God's beautiful distribution centers. We remember that, we breathe it, we live it, and we release it to law for perfect manifestation. And so it is. Love you all. See you next week. Aloha.
Love. Hi folks, Adam here. I hope you can join us right now over in a nice Zoom meeting so we can see each other face to face and come up with the closest thing we can to coffee and fellowship after church. So if you're watching on your computer and you're watching in full screen, you might have to hit the escape key so it comes back to a view kind of like this. And then if you move down here, you'll see the description of the video. You might have to click on the show more, and there's the link for the Zoom. So now all you have to do is click on that link, and it will take you to the next page, and hopefully you've already got the Zoom app installed. If you've never used Zoom before, it'll offer you the choice to download and run Zoom. Otherwise, you can just ask it to open up your Zoom app, and you click on that window, and now there it goes, and it's opening up, inviting you to join with your computer audio. Yes, that's what you want to do. And voila, you'll be in the room. If you're watching on your mobile phone, it's similar. You might have to scroll down from the YouTube video or click a drop-down menu so that you can see, again, the description of the YouTube video. And in that description, you'll see the Zoom link, and click on it, and there you go. You're all invited to the Zoom meeting, and very quickly you will see all your friends. Thanks.